African Public Media, producer and distributor of award-winning public radio content, engaging audiences, creating meaningful experiences, and fostering conversations. With support from Medtronic Philanthropy, expanding access to chronic disease care by supporting organizations. More at medtronicphilanthropy.com. I'm Carol Hills. Next time on The World, meet Lily Singh. She's the daughter of Indian immigrants and a performance artist with millions of followers on YouTube. But in Hollywood, almost no one knows her name. She wants to change that. Lily Singh, next time on The World. Tonight at 7.
BBC News with Julie Kendler. The senior U.S. Republican Paul Ryan has warned against any rush to judgment as Donald Trump faces what his critics say are the most serious allegations to beset his presidency. The president is accused of trying to get the former head of the FBI, James Comey, to drop an investigation into reported links between a senior member of his administration and the Russians. The U.S. has decided not to reimpose sanctions on Iran's nuclear program. This is despite President Trump's bitter criticism of the deal President Obama struck, under which the Iranians agreed to curb their nuclear activities. The new French President Emmanuel Macron has said he was getting to work immediately with the President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, on overhauling the EU. Mr. Macron was speaking alongside Mr. Tusk before the two men began talks over dinner. Mr. Tusk said that millions of Europeans saw President Macron's victory as a sign of hope. Hungary is facing a two-pronged campaign from the European Union to drop new laws restricting asylum seekers and non-governmental organisations. The European Commission has written a letter warning Hungary that it's been breaking EU law since March by automatically detaining asylum seekers. Italy has been taken to court over its failure to clean up or close down 44 landfill sites that pose a serious risk to human health. The European Commission said Italy should have brought the dumps up to standard nearly 8 years ago. The Naples Mafia has been accused of making billions of dollars a year from burying toxic industrial waste on agricultural and housing land. The Colombian government and the country's second-largest armed group, the National Liberation Army, have resumed talks in Ecuador, aimed at reducing everyday violence as they negotiate a peace deal. Colombia signed a deal with the country's largest rebel group, the FARC, in November, after 5 years of negotiations. BBC News.
Next on NewsHour, we'll hear about the release of the former American soldier Chelsea Manning. First, our daily look at business news, and today there's been a general strike in Greece. Hospitals, transport services and government offices have been severely affected. The industrial actions come on the eve of a debate in Parliament over controversial reforms put forward by the left-wing Syriza government, which would further cut pensions and end tax breaks. The government says it has no choice as it needs to make further savings before Eurozone finance ministers will agree to hand over more loan money to service Greece's vast debt. Konstantin Michalos is president of the Union of Greek Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Does he have any sympathy for the strikers?
Although we do have sympathy, what is of paramount importance is that this review is completed. It was the preference of all political parties until a couple of months ago that the government should have closed. Admittedly, there are reforms that are deep, reforms that are hitting certain social classes, predominantly the middle class. If one looks at the horrendous property taxes that have been implemented since 2013 onwards, we definitely need to change this mixture of economic policy as soon as possible so that we can return back to growth.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen, is it? I mean, you're working under such stringent conditions in order to get the cash that you need from Eurozone finance ministers in order to service your enormous debt that the government has got absolutely no option but to continue this punishing austerity.
Well, I disagree. The debt is an issue that will be resolved hopefully in the next few weeks through the IMF, the sustainability of the debt. So that will in itself create a different climate as far as handling the debt situation.
But just on that, I mean, really, is there going to be a significant change to your debt burden given that we're in election year in Germany? I mean, it would be utterly toxic for there to be some sort of write-down or haircut
Well, it's not a question of a write-down, and